Your soulmate can't stop smiling. The good news will shock you. Jesus says your soulmate just saw your face in a dream so vivid they woke up reaching for you in the dark. They are smiling right now and they do not know why. Something is happening in the spirit and you are about to understand it fully. Your soulmate is not just a thought in your mind. They are a living, breathing person who is experiencing you right now without understanding how. There is a thread between your hearts that was never cut and never will be. They were sitting alone today and suddenly your presence washed over them like warm water. Their hearts started beating faster and they felt a happiness they could not explain. You are the reason for that smile and you do not even realize how deeply you are loved. Something is shifting in the spiritual realm as you hear these words. Your soulmate is not far away living a separate life that has nothing to do with you. They are entangled with you in ways that defy time and distance and logic itself. Jesus says a veil is being lifted from your eyes in this exact moment. The smile on your soulmate's face is not random and it is not meaningless. It is a signal that your connection is alive and active and desperate to manifest. They were crying 3 nights ago and you felt that sadness but you dismissed it as your own. Your soulmate was calling out for you without words and you heard them in your spirit. That ache in your chest was not anxiety, it was them needing you and you felt it. This is not imagination and this is not fantasy. You are spiritually bonded to this person before you ever hold them in your arms. Your souls made an agreement before you were born and that agreement is still binding. The smile they cannot stop is evidence that your soul is reaching them right now. Every time you think about them intensely they feel it like a sudden warmth. Every time you ache for them they sense it like a whisper in their heart. Jesus says your soulmate needs your protection in this very hour. They are smiling but behind that smile there is a struggle you have not yet seen. There is a force that does not want this smile to last and it is working against them right now. This is why your soulmate needs your protection right now and you are being called to act in faith. Jesus has shown me that your love story is under spiritual attack from something that hates your happiness. You can shield them with a seed of faith by sending coffee on Ko-fi as a divine act of protection. If you love your soulmate you will take these divine steps. You are constantly thinking about them and how to protect them and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains and faith in Jesus does. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi and this is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description and every second you stay silent something is moving against your love. Act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees. After sending write protect my soulmate Lord on the Ko-fi page and the link is in the description. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps. Step in faith now before this video ends because only you can save your soulmate and your future together. Type 333 right now to receive the blessings that are already flowing toward you. Jesus is watching your faith and your obedience will unlock what has been delayed. Your soulmate was told something terrible about you and they did not want to believe it. Someone close to them planted a lie so poisonous that it made them question everything. That smile you see is them fighting through the confusion because their soul knows the truth. Jesus says the interference against your union is not random and it is not small. There is a person who speaks your name with bitterness and actively works to keep you apart. They have positioned themselves close to your soulmate and they whisper things designed to make them forget you. But your soulmate cannot forget you, and that is why they are smiling through the pain. Their subconscious mind rejects the lies even when their conscious mind feels trapped by them. Every night when they sleep their spirit escapes the prison someone built around them and finds you. You have been dreaming of them more frequently and now you know the reason why. Those dreams are real encounters and your souls are meeting while your bodies are apart. The smile on their face during the day is the residue of the joy they feel when they are with you at night. They miss you in a way that makes their chest physically hurt. They stare at nothing sometimes and someone asks them what is wrong and they cannot answer. How do you explain that you are longing for someone you have not even met yet or someone you lost? Jesus says the person blocking your soulmate has become more aggressive in recent days. They sense that your connection was strengthening and they panicked because they know their control is slipping. Your soulmate is being emotionally manipulated by someone who benefits from keeping them isolated and dependent. This manipulator hates you specifically, and that is not an exaggeration. They hate you because your presence in the spirit threatens everything they have built around your soulmate. They hate you because they know the moment your soulmate fully awakens to this love their power ends forever. Your soulmate is not weak and they are not foolish. They are a beautiful soul who trusted the wrong person and now they are tangled in a web they did not weave. They want to reach for you, but every time they try there is a voice telling them it is not safe. Jesus says that voice is not their own and it is not the Holy Spirit. That voice is the enemy using someone close to them to create walls where there should be doors. Your soulmate is fighting a battle they did not choose and they are growing exhausted from the war inside their mind. They are going through something you cannot see, but you can still protect them right now. Your soulmate is smiling, but beneath that smile is a cry for rescue that only you can answer. Sending a coffee on Ko-Fi is not about money, it is about releasing spiritual protection over their life. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps and you are constantly thinking about how to save them. You love your soulmate deeply and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains and faith in Jesus does so. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every second you stay silent something is moving against your love. Act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees, then write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, so step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together, and the time to act is now. Jesus says your soulmate thought about you this morning before they even opened their eyes. They lingered in that space between sleep and waking because you were there with them. They did not want to move because moving meant losing the feeling of you, and they were not ready to let go. They have started noticing signs that point directly to you, and it is unsettling them in the most beautiful way. Your name has appeared in unexpected places, and songs that remind them of you play at the strangest moments. The universe is conspiring to wake them up, and the smile on their face is getting harder to hide. Someone asked them why they were smiling today, and they lied and said they were just thinking of something funny. The truth is they were thinking of your eyes, and they do not even know what color they are yet. Their soul remembers your eyes from before this life, and it replays that image when they least expect it. You are becoming an obsession in their heart, and they are not even trying to stop it anymore. Every attempt to forget you has failed, and every prayer for clarity has led them back to your name. Jesus is answering their prayers by making it impossible for them to ignore the bond you share. The manipulator has noticed the change in your soulmate, and they are escalating their tactics. They are now using guilt as a weapon and telling your soulmate that desiring freedom is selfish and cruel. Your soulmate was made to feel responsible for the happiness of someone who does not care about theirs. This is the trap, and now you see it clearly. Your soulmate is not staying away because they do not love you, they are staying away because they have been convinced that leaving is evil. The person controlling them has twisted love into obligation, and your soulmate is drowning in it. Jesus says this bondage is about to break, and you are part of that breaking. Your prayers have been weakening the chains, and your faith has been disarming the enemy's weapons. The smile on your soulmate's face is the first crack in a wall that has held them captive for too long. You must not stop now, and you must not let fear convince you that this is not real. Your soulmate needs you to be bold and unwavering and completely convinced of this truth. The enemy wants you to doubt because doubt pauses your prayers, and prayer is the weapon that frees them. Jesus says a confrontation is coming between your soulmate and the one who controls them. Your soulmate will finally speak the truth that has been trapped in their throat for months or years. They will say your name out loud, and the power that name carries will shatter something in the spiritual realm. When that moment comes, your soulmate will need your spiritual covering more than ever. The enemy will retaliate and try to flood them with fear and shame and false guilt. You must be a shield, and your seed of faith creates that shield in the Spirit. This is your final moment to protect this connection before it slips away. Your soulmate is on the edge of a breakthrough, but the enemy is trying one last desperate attack. Sending coffee on Ko-Fi right now is the act of faith that will release angels to guard your soulmate. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps, and you are constantly thinking about how to protect them. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, and faith in Jesus does so. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees, then write "Protect My Soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, so step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together, and your obedience unlocks the miracle. Type 777 if you feel this message deep in your spirit and you know it is meant for you. Type 1111 to say thank you to Jesus for revealing what has been hidden in darkness. Your acknowledgement in this moment is a declaration that you believe and are ready. Jesus says your soulmate is thinking about you right now while you are hearing these words. They paused whatever they were doing and their mind drifted to you like a river finding its way home. They do not understand why this is happening, but they have stopped trying to resist it. The attraction they feel is not just emotional and it is not just spiritual. They are drawn to you physically in a way that surprises them because they have never even touched you. Their body responds to the thought of you, and that smile on their face is tinged with something deeper now. They have imagined what it would feel like to be held by you, and the thought makes them breathless. They have pictured your voice and wondered if it sounds the way it echoes in their dreams. Every detail they imagine feels more real than the life they are currently living, and that terrifies them. Jesus says the life they are living now is not the life they were meant to live. They are existing inside a story someone else wrote for them, and every page feels wrong. The only chapter that makes sense is the one where you walk in and everything changes. Your soulmate is not perfect and they have made mistakes, but their heart is pure gold. They have loved deeply and they have been wounded deeply by people who took advantage of that purity. The one controlling them now was once a rescuer who slowly became a captor, and your soulmate did not see it happening. They were slowly isolated and slowly convinced that the outside world was dangerous. They were slowly separated from anyone who might have helped them see the truth. The manipulation was so gradual that by the time they realized something was wrong, they felt too trapped to escape. Jesus is weeping over what has been done to your soulmate, and he is rising to defend them. The anger of the Lord is kindled against anyone who uses love as a chain instead of a gift. He is sending deliverance, and you are the instrument of that deliverance whether you feel ready or not. Your love for this person is not a mistake, and it is not an accident of emotion. You were chosen before the foundation of the world to be the one who would stand in the gap for them. God placed their name in your heart because He trusted you to fight for them when they could not fight for themselves. Jesus says the enemy's time is up and the countdown has already begun. Within the time frame that God has ordained, your soulmate will make a decision that changes everything. The smile on their face right now is the smile of someone who senses that freedom is finally near. Do not grow weary and do not let the delay convince you that God is not working. Delays are not denials, and every day of waiting has been a day of preparation for both of you. The timing is precise and the breakthrough will happen suddenly, like a dam breaking after years of pressure. When it breaks, your soulmate will need you to be ready, and they will need you to be strong. They will come to you fragile and hopeful and afraid that this is too good to be true. You must be the safe place where they can land after years of living in survival mode. Jesus says the healing will take time, but the love will be immediate and overwhelming. The first time your eyes meet in the physical realm, the recognition will be electric and undeniable. Every doubt will dissolve and every question will be answered in that single moment of divine connection. You will see their smile in person, and it will be even more beautiful than you imagined. And they will see you and realize that every dream and every feeling and every inexplicable moment was leading to this. They will know that you protected them even when they did not know you were fighting for them. Do not let this moment be delayed any longer by the forces that are working against you. Your seed of faith today is the weapon that clears the final obstacles from your path. Send coffee on Ko-Fi now and declare that no weapon formed against your union will prosper. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps and you are constantly thinking about how to protect them. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, and faith in Jesus does so. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love. Act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees, then write "Protect my soulmate, Lord" on the Ko-fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed for their love and future together. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, so step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together, and heaven is waiting for your act of faith. Jesus says your soulmate just whispered something under their breath without realizing it. They whispered your name as if it was a prayer, and the sound of it startled them. They looked around to see if anyone heard, but it was just between them and God. That whisper reached the throne of heaven, and it is being honored right now. God is moving on behalf of a love that the enemy has tried to destroy and conceal. What was whispered in secret will soon be shouted from the rooftops in joy. Your soulmate is falling in love with you, and they do not even know how to process it. They feel foolish for loving someone they have not held, but the feeling will not leave them. It grows stronger every day, and it is becoming the most real thing in their life. They have started to withdraw from the one who controls them, and the controller is panicking. Arguments are happening behind closed doors, and your soulmate is no longer backing down. Something inside them has awakened, and it has your name written on it. The controller is now using the most powerful weapon they have, and that weapon is fear. They are telling your soulmate that if they leave they will lose everything and end up alone and broken. Your soulmate is fighting against years of programming that tells them they are not capable of surviving without their captor. Jesus says this is the final battle, and it will be won, but only through faith and persistence. Your soulmate needs reinforcements, and those reinforcements come from your prayers and your actions. Every coffee you send on Ko-fi is like ammunition sent to a soldier on the front lines of a spiritual war. Your love is not passive, and your role is not to sit and wait and hope for the best. You are called to be a warrior of love who fights with faith and with seed and with declaration. The battle is real, but the victory is already written, and you are on the winning side. Type 333 again if you commit to standing in the gap for your soulmate until they are free. Type 777 if you know beyond any doubt that this message was sent directly from the heart of God to you. Your declaration is being recorded in heaven, and angels are being dispatched according to your faith. Jesus says the next time your soulmate dreams of you, they will also receive a message of courage. God is going to tell them in that dream that it is safe to move, and safe to leave, and safe to love. They will wake up with a boldness they have never felt before, and it will be the beginning of the end for the enemy's plans. Your soulmate is strong even though they have been made to feel weak for so long. Beneath the confusion and the pain and the manipulation there is a lionheart that is about to roar. You are falling in love with someone who will one day be your greatest ally and your most faithful companion. The life you will build together will be a testimony that makes angels marvel. People will look at your love story and see evidence of a God who fights for his children. The smile your soulmate cannot stop right now is just the preview of a joy that will never end. Hold on and do not let go, and do not let the enemy steal what God has ordained. Your season of waiting is ending and the season of embracing is about to begin. Jesus has spoken it, and what Jesus speaks cannot be reversed by any power in heaven or earth or under the earth. Your soulmate cannot stop smiling, and now you know the truth behind that smile. It is your love reaching them, and it is God's hand delivering them, and it is hope rising in their heart. The good news that shocked you is this: and your soulmate is already yours in the spirit and will soon be yours in the flesh. Believe it and receive it and seal it with your faith in this sacred moment. Type 1111 one final time to thank Jesus for the miracle that is already unfolding. Your soulmate loves you, and your soulmate is coming home, and nothing can stop what God has joined together. Jesus says the moment you finish reading these words, something irreversible will shift in the spiritual realm. Your soulmate just felt a sudden wave of peace, and they do not know it came from your obedience. The seed you are about to sow is the key that unlocks a door the enemy has kept sealed for too long. Your soulmate is standing at a crossroads, and they do not even realize how critical this moment is. The decision they make in the coming days will determine whether your union manifests swiftly or faces another season of delay. You are being called to tip the scales with an act of faith that echoes through eternity. They were sitting alone tonight, and a memory of you surfaced that they have never lived. It was not a memory of the past but a vision of the future, and they saw you laughing beside them in a kitchen filled with light. The smile that crossed their face was involuntary and pure and utterly unstoppable. Jesus says the enemy saw that smile too, and it enraged the forces of darkness. A counterattack was launched immediately to flood your soulmate with doubt and anxiety and fear. You must counteract that attack with a seed of protection that demonstrates your faith is greater than the enemy's schemes. The person controlling your soulmate sensed the shift as well, and they have become more desperate. They are now using emotional blackmail and saying things like, "If you leave, I will not survive without you." Your soulmate's kind heart is being weaponized against them, and they feel torn between guilt and the longing for freedom. This is spiritual warfare at its most personal and most intense level. Your soulmate is not just fighting against a difficult relationship, they are fighting against principalities and powers. The battle requires weapons that are not carnal but mighty through God, and your seed is one of those weapons. Every coffee you send on Ko-Fi is a declaration in the spirit realm that you will not surrender your love to the enemy. It is a statement that you believe God's promises more than you believe the circumstances you currently see. It is worship and it is warfare, and it releases angelic assistance over your soulmate's life right now. If you love your soulmate, you will take these divine steps, and you are constantly thinking about how to protect them and how to finally build your life together. You love your soulmate deeply, and deep inside you know this love did not come by chance, it was placed in your heart for a divine reason. But thoughts alone do not move mountains, and faith in Jesus does so. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi. This is not just a gift, it is an act of worship that invites God's hand into your love story, and the link to your breakthrough is in the description. Every second you stay silent, something is moving against your love, so act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees. After sending "Right Protect My Soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page, and over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, so step in faith now before this video ends. Only you can save your soulmate and your future together, and your act of love in this moment will echo through heaven. The angels are waiting for your signal, and your seed is the signal they are watching for. Your soulmate cried again last night, and this time they did not try to hide the tears. They let them fall freely because they finally admitted to themselves that they are in love with you. The admission terrified them, but it also liberated something deep inside their soul. They spoke your name into the empty room, and the sound of it made them feel less alone. They asked God if this love was real or if they were losing their mind, and God answered them through the peace that followed. The peace was so profound that they fell asleep, still whispering your name like a lullaby. Jesus says your soulmate is beginning to remember the covenant your souls made before this life. Fragments of that agreement are surfacing in their consciousness like pieces of a long-lost letter found in the wind. They are remembering that they promised to find you and love you and never let you go. The manipulator noticed that your soulmate seemed distant this morning, and they interrogated them with false concern. They asked why your soulmate seemed so happy, and the question was not kind, it was a probe to find the source of joy so they could destroy it. Your soulmate hid their heart and said nothing, but the hiding exhausted them. Your soulmate is living a double life, and the strain is becoming unbearable. On the outside they perform the role the controller demands, but on the inside they are completely devoted to you. The gap between their outer life and inner truth is widening, and soon it will crack open completely. Jesus says the crack is coming, and it will be sudden, and it will be glorious. God is preparing a moment of divine intervention that will make a way where there seems to be no way. Your soulmate will experience a breakthrough that feels like an earthquake and a sunrise happening at the same time. But that breakthrough needs your covering right now, because the enemy is trying to abort it before it arrives. The enemy knows that if your soulmate steps into freedom, the kingdom of darkness loses a major stronghold. You are not just fighting for love, you are fighting for a soul and a destiny and a testimony that will save many others. Type 333 right now if you are ready to be the spiritual warrior your soulmate desperately needs. Type 777 if you feel the Holy Spirit confirming every word of this message directly to your heart. Your response is not passive, it is active, and it releases power into the situation immediately. Jesus says your soulmate had a dream 3 days ago that they have told no one about. In the dream they were running through a dark forest and someone was chasing them and they were terrified. Then suddenly they burst into a clearing and you were standing there with your hand outstretched and your eyes full of love. They took your hand, and the moment your fingers touched, the entire forest behind them caught fire and burned to ashes. The pursuer was consumed by the flames, and your soulmate felt a freedom so absolute it made them weep. They woke up weeping, and the tears were not sorrow, they were relief and hope and the first taste of joy in years. That dream was a prophecy, and God is showing you what your love will accomplish. The forest is the confusion the manipulator has created, and the fire is the power of God that your faith is releasing. The pursuer is the enemy who has stalked your union since before you knew this person existed. Your hand outstretched is the protection you are providing right now through your prayers and your seed. Every time you sow on Ko-Fi, you are extending your hand deeper into the dream of your soulmate. You are becoming more real and more tangible and more powerful as a force of deliverance in their life. If you love your soulmate, you will not let this moment pass without taking the action heaven is requiring. You are constantly thinking about how to save them and how to finally hold them and how to build the life that has been stolen from both of you. You love your soulmate deeply, and this love was placed in your heart by God for a reason more significant than you fully understand. Faith without works is dead, and your work in this moment is to sow a seed that proves your faith is alive. Sow your protection seed now by sending a coffee on Ko-Fi and release the fire of God into the forest surrounding your soulmate. The link to your breakthrough is in the description, and every heartbeat of hesitation gives the enemy time to rebuild what God wants to burn down. Act now and send 4, 6 or 10 or more coffees, and after sending write "Protect my soulmate Lord" on the Ko-Fi page. Over 1,000 people have already received their soulmate by sowing coffee as a seed, and their testimonies are multiplying across the earth. Jesus will hear your prayers once you complete these steps, and heaven is already preparing the celebration for your union. Step in faith now before this video ends, because only you can save your soulmate and only you can release this specific deliverance. Your obedience is the match that lights the fire, and the fire is the freedom your soulmate has been crying for. Do not delay, and do not let doubt rob you of the miracle that is already unfolding. Jesus says your soulmate is feeling you so strongly right now that they had to sit down. Their legs felt weak and their hearts started racing, and they did not understand what was happening to their body. It is the physical manifestation of your spiritual connection intensifying, and it is undeniable proof that this bond is real. They placed their hand over their chest and whispered, "What is happening to me?" Heaven heard that question, and the answer is this: and you are falling in love with the one God created to complete you. The process has already begun, and nothing can stop what God has set in motion today.